Hi! Welcome back to the Miss You, That's All podcast. I'm your co host, Kayla.
And I'm your co host, Ashley. Look at this fancy water.
That looks very fancy.
It's so fancy.
Is it flavored or sparkling or something?
No, just one.
Hmm.
It was like $3 for this one bottle. But I was like, Brandon, what if I get this when we record and it'll be so aesthetically pleasing and it'll match my whole thing I got going on here? And he was like, sure.
So is that like the actual water that came in it, or have you already drank that and now you're going to refill it for the aesthetic purpose?
That's what I told him. I was like, I can't afford $4 or $4 a bottle of water. I'm just gonna refill it with my Starbucks water that I get for free. Do you know why? Speaking of, a good little gateway into our episode. Did you know why Starbucks water is so good?
It's double filtered, isn't it?
It's double filtered. Another fun fact for you guys. One time, me and Kayla wanted to drink, I forget what kind it was. We wanted to drink a sparkling water out of like the green glass bottles. And so
Mm-hmm.
we went to the bigger Walmart that had them. That was like 45 minutes away from our house, 30, 45 minutes away. And we got them and we took a big old sip and we were both like, like we were disgusted. And then we looked at
Sparkling
it,
water isn't for everyone.
we looked at each other and promptly dumped it on the ground. Good times though. But yeah, today's episode is fun. I actually have one that's actually a fun question.
Okay.
Um, but yeah. Oh, but first, I have to ask you my question. This microphone's a lot better than my old one because, or like how I have it set up is a lot better because I feel like I was doing some ASMR stuff with that.
Yeah, I was
Um,
about to ask you what that noise was, and then I
oh,
realized you were
I don't
peeling
like
a sticker
I don't like
off.
stickers. They bug me. And I try to throw it in the chair and I throw it on the ground, and later I'm gonna be like, "Why is there a sticker on the ground?" And he's gonna be like, "I don't know." Anyway, okay. So would you rather fight? Like, do you think you could fight a bear? What was it? A bear, a kangaroo, or an alligator? Since you're thinking about it, I'll give you my answer because I don't know if you know. There's kind of an easy answer, but it's also not that easy. So we
The
took our,
assumption would be alligator
yes,
because,
you're supposed to get on their backs and like
yes,
bear hug
and
them.
kangaroos
Yes,
are like ridiculously fast and can
jacked.
function somewhat like humans,
And they're jacked.
and bears are ginormous and could literally just like maul you with their paw in like one little swipe.
Right, 1000%. It's kind of an easy question. Or not really. It's very hypothetical because why would you ever need
I
to pick
mean,
that?
I guess depending on the size of someone's ego, they would have picked
That's
different
fair.
answer, but
That's
I'm
fair.
thinking about survival over
Yes,
here.
we took our oldest kid to a survival, like, I forgot what it was called exactly, but it was like this thing for kids, and it was a lot of like survival situations, like what should you do, like in an avalanche, what should you do if you see bees, what should you do if you see, like, it was just a bunch of random things, and honestly, like, me and Brandon went and we didn't know a lot of it, and
Yeah.
an alligator, it was like jump on its back and bear hug it, and I was like, that's fair. I'm also kind of, alligators freak me out just because like they have a plan. Like how they pull you to the bottom of the water and they
Mm-hmm.
drown you, and then they like let your body temperature change or whatever, and then they come back for you later. Like, that freaks me. I don't like animals with a plan. You're too smart.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't have the thought process to plan. That creeps me out.
I'm just I mean, it's great. Very knowledgeable info at that class, but let's just hope we're not in any of those situations.
But it was like interactive. Like the avalanche one, they had a ball pit, and ever like I don't know 3 to 4 minutes, it would pour balls on you, and you're supposed to like get on your stomach and like roll out or something. I don't remember, but it was very informative. Or it was like, what should you do if you're I think one of them was like a train car takes off and you're standing on it, what should you do? And it had like a thing that like moved under your feet. Yes, it was a bunch of wild stuff. Yeah, but you know my kid, he likes to know how things work and all
And that
that.
stuff
Yeah.
is gonna stay in his brain forever.
Yes.
Forever.
Yes, like us in quicksand. We know what to do in quicksand,
Yes.
even though we've never encountered quicksand. Ever. Don't think I probably ever will, but
Ever.
ever. I know what to do. I know how to handle it. Okay, anyway, are you feeling better?
I'm working on it. We just went for a walk, so I'm like sweaty and my chest was hurting a while ago. So, but I'm rehydrating. This is liquid IV. We're
Yeah,
not
that's better.
sponsored, though I'd love to be. But
Well, guys, Kayla went to a ball on Friday and Pookie was looking fire.
I'm uncomfy for you that just came out of your mouth.
Actually, it just like came out. Like, I don't even really watch their stuff. I've watched like a few of them, and every time I'm like, why? Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna judge these people, because it's not like that at all. But it's just for where we come from, a dude knowing where all of his clothes come from just kind of blows my mind still. Because Brandon would be like, my wife got me this shirt. These pants I've had since 2010. Like, like he wouldn't know.
Featuring a hole in the leg.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. 100%. They're a
Mm.
cute couple though. Good for
We had a
them.
good time. We had a good time, but I'm still tired. It's been
Don't
nice to like sleep extra though.
don't bounce back like we used to.
Yeah. Oh, and then last night, we were watching a movie, and I don't know if my neck was itching, but I didn't like actually feel something crawling on me. But I reached up, yeah, I reached up and there was a tick on me. It didn't bite me, but it was on me, so now I'm like having a little bit of paranoia
Yes.
because we've been seeing like severe cases of people at the hospital with like rashes and just like chaos, and it's from tick bites.
Oh my
So now I'm a
gosh.
little unnerved, and I'm like, I feel like there's things on me, and I know there's not, but I feel
Do
like
y'all
there
spray your
is.
yard?
We haven't, but they did last year. Someone came and sprayed, like from the city for free. But like our dogs have the collars and stuff, so we don't like
Gotcha.
super worry about it. But I'm pretty sure it's because of all the rain that it's just like moving everything and then all the tree limbs being down and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Ugh. I'm gonna itch for the rest of the day for you.
I know, makes me uncomfy. Uncomfy.
Okay. Well, are you ready? Do you want me to go first or do you want to go first?
I don't care, buddy.
Okay. I'll go first. So
Okay.
I think I've told you this one before, but I feel like everyone should know because I feel like if they don't know, then they're being bamboozled. But fun fact, Dum Dum mystery flavor suckers are not one single flavor. They are a mixture of the flavor in front of them and behind them because they're cleaning out the lines from like the where they make the flavor to the sucker.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mix between those two flavors until they get to like if there's pineapple in front of them, then it's them like draining the system from pineapple to cherry, and then whenever it's full cherry, then they pump out cherry flavor. And so it's never just one single flavor, it's a mix of two different flavors every time. So if you're sitting there like, it
Is
tastes
it
like,
always the same or is it
I don't
different?
think so. I don't know, but I don't think so. From whatever I read, it made me think that it wasn't always the same, but maybe it is. I don't know.
That like it sometimes it's pineapple and cherry, sometimes it's blue and cotton candy, sometimes it's yeah,
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Which would make the most sense because I mean, if you're having to continually clean the lines from stuff, then
Yeah, you're not wasting your product. Fun
that's
fact.
interesting. Fun fact, you can actually die laughing, and a number of people have, typically due to intense laughter causing a heart attack or suffocation. Comedy shows should come with a warning.
Uh,
Which kind of makes sense. Like when I've been like in intense laughter and then like the sound goes out, you know?
yes. Or
There's times when I'm like,
is it lack of oxygen or like strain on your heart or
I guess a combination of all of it if you're like intensely laughing.
yeah, I guess so.
I wonder like what the ratio is though of like people who had like history of like a heart disease or something like that or
Right,
stuff
like
like
already
heart
had heart
problems that run in
problems.
their family. Yeah, opposed to just like no. Like you're super healthy, you don't have history of any problems kind of thing and they just like suffocated from laughing too hard.
Wow,
I
that's kind
feel
of
like, you
scary.
know what, if there was a way to go out though, I'd
That'd be
be
a good
okay with
way.
that way. Yeah, that would be a
Okay.
good way.
It would be a good way. I feel like now that's how I'm gonna die because I laugh stupid hard sometimes and it hurts. I feel like I just had like a workout. So now I'm kind of scared. Uh, so here's my fun question. I saw it on something yesterday whenever we were out, and I'm gonna ask you. Which is older, Netflix or Google?
Netflix.
Do you know when it came out?
No.
That was just a
But
bonus
most
question.
people would assume that the answer is Google, therefore the answer is Netflix.
Well, I knew, see, what threw me is I knew they came out close to around the same time. Netflix came out in 1997 and Google came out in 1998. So it's tricky because they did come out
It's very
within,
close.
yes, they came out very close together. And that's what kind of threw me was I was like, I know when Google came out and I know Netflix was right there with it, but it was either just before or just after. So that's what kind of threw me was I was like, I don't know which one because I know they're close together. But I knew Google was 1998.
I didn't know what year either of them came out, which
I
would make
just
sense. I was born in 96, so I mean, I was 2 years old. I wasn't concerned with Google.
well, I've seen stuff that's like we are older than Google and like that's going to trip out our children, the fact that we're older than Google.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, I wasn't even in school yet, so hardly, hardly, okay?
Yeah.
Hardly using that as a flex.
Yeah. Hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'd literally never thought about like when they actually came out. I
Do you,
knew, like obviously it was when we were young, but
yeah. Do you remember Ask Jeeves?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes me sad. I feel like that fool knew everything, and now it doesn't even exist anymore. Google put it out of business. I remember whenever,
Mm.
like, the first time we went to the library to, like, work on a paper or something, and the teacher was like,
Mm-hmm.
just use Ask Jeeves. You can ask him anything, and he'll answer it. And we were like, oh, buddy. And, like, we weren't even working on our assignment. We were just asking random questions.
Just like goofing off.
Yeah, yeah.
That's funny.
Okay, your turn.
Fact. Giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people.
That tracks. Because they're 3 times
True.
more in the air.
Well, true, there are only 5 well documented fatal lightning strikes on giraffes between 1996 and 2010. But due to the population of the species just being 140,000 during this time, it makes for about 0.003 lightning deaths per 1,000 giraffes each year. This is 30 times the equivalent fatality rate for humans. So I think it's more about the fact that there's less of them,
Yeah, like,
not that they're higher in the
yeah,
air.
ratios.
But my thought was the same as yours. It's because they're higher up there, kind of like how,
Right.
when there's lightning, they're like,
It's like a
don't stand
pole.
under a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a big thing that's like, hello, I'm up in the sky.
That's fair. That's interesting though. Oh, I just thought of one. Hold on, though. Pause. Should we like save where we got these from and put them in our notes? So like because of like plagiarism, should we do that?
Um, we can. Mine are all coming from the same place.
Okay. Okay. Good. We'll just keep
I
that little
can
tab
like
open.
save this and reference it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So whenever Haley went to Africa, she told me that apparently African elephants, their ears are shaped like Africa, and it's only African elephants that their ears are shaped like that. Yeah. It's
I
wild.
didn't know that.
Yeah. I didn't either. She learned it on safari. But yeah. And like you go look up a picture and I think she sent me a picture and it's like perfect. It's so weird. Like how does that work? How does that happen? What are the odds?
It's interesting.
Right? It's
I didn't
spooky.
know that.
I didn't either.
It's kind
I
of a
didn't
cool
even
way to tell them apart, though.
yeah. Okay, let me get my little book. I was making notes at lunch earlier, or brunch, I should say. Um, um, Fun fact: Hawaiian pizza was invented in Canada. I think it's funny all of the food, like French fries, weren't invented in France. Like, why are
Yeah.
we like? I kind of get Hawaiian pizza because it's pineapples and they got pineapples down there, but all the food that like references somewhere else that it has nothing to do with that place.
Yeah.
I think that's
Kind of makes you wonder who named foods. Like, if that's
right.
not where they came from.
Yeah. Or if it was just a like hamburger. They come from Hamburg. Like that makes sense. I keep touching my iPad and it turns on and it's bugging. Like that
I'm sorry,
makes
I'm laughing because I just remembered that reel that I sent you when that girl was like, my friend and I were out to lunch and my friend ordered a steak and the girl was like, how would you like your cow cooked? And she was like, a weird way to say it, but whatever. And then I
eh,
ordered a hamburger and she was like, how would you like your cow cooked? And I was like, you mean my pig? And she was like, no, how would you like your cow cooked? And she's like, so embarrassing for her. Like, it's literally called a ham burger.
no.
Obviously,
What
it's a
what
pig.
got me was she was like, I don't have like the time to educate you in a nice way on this. Like that's what took me out. That's what embarrassed me. Like I had such secondhand embarrassment from watching that video. Oh my god. Oh my god.
The video is very uncomfy.
Yes. Yes. It is because she knew she was right. She knew she was that poor girl. Ugh. No, that's so bad. Okay.
Um, okay, fun fact. We don't actually have receptors in our skin to determine wetness.
Yes, I have heard that before.
We this conversation is one of those things that like this should have been part of the I don't understand podcast that we did.
Yes.
Because
Um,
this one is like your brain is doing something wild because it's more closely associated with temperature rather than the actual feeling like something's wet. When something's wet, you're just like, oh, this is cold.
yeah.
And that's how our brain translates it. And I'm like,
So
what?
what I don't understand, and maybe I should save this for later, but it really bothers me. And what bothers me more is I don't know if there's an obvious answer to it that I'm missing, but I don't understand how, like, if we went and got in 90-degree water, it would feel cool. Like, it would be comfortable. It
Mm-hmm.
would feel nice and refreshing. But if you walk outside into 90-degree weather, it's hot as balls.
Yeah.
Like, even if you took the sun out of the equation, it's still toasty,
Mm-hmm.
which makes no sense. Our body is sitting at a warm 98.6 degrees. Why isn't 90 degrees cold as well? Or not cold, but like cool, because it's cooler than our body. I don't understand. And I don't know if I should, like if I'm missing something obvious. But that got like the other day, it was whenever we put in a our tankless water heater a few months ago, and Brandon set it on like 98, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "That's hot." And I was like, "We're 98. How is that going to be hot?" I don't like taking
Mm-hmm.
tepid showers. And then we got like I was thinking like you got to go warmer. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's set at like 111 now or something. Um but then I was like, "Wait, why doesn't this temperature in air feel the same as water?" I don't understand that at all.
Also, you saying that makes me think about like hot tubs because sometimes you'll get in a hot tub. And like I know when I was younger, like my grandparents had a hot tub, so like you could set the temp and the
Mhm.
highest it would go is 104. And like when you get in there, you're like, this is hot.
Hot.
But
Yeah.
knowing that your shower thing is set to 111, you're like, you know, at the hottest point, it's probably really hot. But otherwise, you probably have it pretty high up there most of the time. And you're like, oh, this is comfy. Like, this is a nice
Yeah.
shower. Hmm,
I don't know. But
that's
we
weird.
mix it with the cold water, so
Yeah.
because the way
Yeah.
you're supposed to do it, like you're supposed to, or ours, you're supposed to turn the hot water fully on and then
Mm-hmm.
like turn the cold water to get it where you want temperature wise.
Yeah. Which makes sense for like pressure and stuff in an RV too.
Yeah. Um, okay. So, fun fact, tigers have striped skin. Yeah, it's like not just their hair that's striped. Like if they lost all their hair, that's a better way to say it. If they lost all their hair, they would still be striped.
Are all striped animals like that?
I don't
Or are
know.
all patterned animals like that?
I don't know. I thought about that because our oldest kid said something about a cheetah right after that, and I was like, I wonder if cheetahs have
Mm-hmm.
spotted skin.
Spotted skin.
But like, okay, another thing I never really understood was why people say that like our zebras white with black stripes or black with white stripes. Like I always assumed they had black stripes because their belly is white. So like if their base color that doesn't have anything else is just white, then obviously they would be white with black stripes. But I don't know. Maybe that's too easy of an answer.
I don't know that I've ever looked at a zebra's belly. That's what came to
You're
my
gonna
mind. I'm
kill me.
like, oh my. Okay. Fun fact, all the world's bacteria stacked on top of each other would stretch for 10 billion light years. Together, Earth's 0.001 millimeter long microbes could wrap around the Milky Way over 20,000 times.
Clean your shopping carts, guys. Jesus Christ.
Ugh. So gross.
That is so gross. Just use hand sanitizer. Clean it up. Which not all bacteria is bad bacteria.
This is true. You know, there's a lot of microbes that are like normal flora to our bodies and different parts
Are
of your bodies
essential.
and things like that. Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of bacteria. That's gonna keep me up at night.
Yeah. It's really gross.
That is so gross. Ew. What's funny, is I was getting something out of my car last night, and my oldest kid found one of his old masks and like just thrown back there. And he was like, "Hey, do you remember we had to wear these all the time?" And I was like, "Yes, yes, I do." When everyone almost died. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. When I was pregnant during the plague. Yes, I remember. It was terrifying. But his little mind, he was like, "Hey, remember we had to wear these dumb things?" And I was just going on my life, going on about my life like nothing was wrong. I just can't. That's a lot of freaking bacteria. I wonder how much of that is like
Sorry.
frozen. Like, you know how they say that like a lot of bacteria and like stuff is frozen and underneath ice, and like
Mm-hmm.
when the ice melts, it's gonna like release a bunch of stuff. Okay. Fun fact. You might know this one. Disney uses a color called Go Away Green to hide things that they don't want visitors to see. And if you look for it, it's very easy to find. It's like just like stuff like doors that they don't want you to see, or like stuff that like the cast members come out from like right next to you. They just paint it,
Mm-hmm.
and your eye like just camouflages it, like you don't notice it as easy. Something about that shade of green, you just ignore it. Yeah, it's really fascinating.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Fun fact. What does your shirt say? Cocoa Beach?
Yeah, this is mine and Johnny's. Well, I was gonna say our first vacation, but it wasn't. This was the first beach vacation.
I gotcha.
Mm. These are so wild. Like, I don't know what to pick because I'm on something that has like 100 and something fun facts. And now I'm like, there's a bunch of interesting stuff on here.
Oh, I have one real quick while you're looking. Did you know that expiration dates on water bottles are for the bottle, not for the water?
Like the plastic.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense though.
Yeah, because you know how people are always like, why is there
'Cause,
an
I mean-
expiration date on here? Water doesn't expire.
Well-
That's for the bottle.
Why is there an expiration date on a lot of things? It's because the FDA. You can eat just about anything. It's fine.
Yeah, because like they don't regulate it really, and like it's mandatory, but they don't actually regulate the dates, and it causes like something like 60 billion pounds of food to go wasted every year. It's like a ridiculous number.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's sealed in something, I don't pay attention to the dates. Like when it has to be like produce or dairy or something for me to actually pay attention.
Speaking of, did you know, this may have been me and you that talked about this, but did you know that bagged shredded cheese there's an expiration date on it, right? And you're
Hmm.
like, oh, you have like a month, 60 days, whatever it is. No. There's fine print on the back that says, please use within 3 to 5 days of opening.
Really?
I am so serious. You're going to have to go look at your cheese when you get done because I went and
I
looked at mine
will.
when I saw that and I was like, yeah, 3 to 5 days. And I'm like, who uses this much cheese in three to
In
five
three to
days?
five. Well, you know what? You know what? We ain't been doing it this whole time, and we're fine. Oh, I say we're fine. I've had a headache like every day for the last month, and you have like everything wrong with you, and we're like, who cares? You're fine.
Pish posh.
So, funny story. After I just said
Mm.
that we don't pay close attention to expiration dates. So we Brandon really likes sweet whole kernel corn. And one day I was making
Mm-hmm.
it and I opened up the can and I go to pour it and it comes out and it is broken down and chunky and I was like, Brandon, I'm about to freak out. And he's like, what is wrong with that corn? And like, we were freaking out because we were like, how did this even happen? It was in a can. And then, like, after panicking for like 5 to 10 minutes, we actually looked at the can and it was cream style corn. But like, you feel you're acting like I'm stupid. But imagine thinking you're opening whole kernel
Oh, yeah.
corn and then you open it and it's cream style and it's not supposed to look like that at all and then you're like freaking out and yes when it's not a big deal until you think that it's supposed to be something else and then it's gross.
Yeah. You're like, this is nasty.
Yeah, we still laugh about that. Anyway, your turn.
Mm-mm. Um, Fun fact, snails have teeth.
Ugh.
Between 1,000 and 12,000 teeth, to be precise.
Are they
They
like
aren't
teeny
like
teeny
ours,
teeny tiny?
though. So don't be thinking that snails with ridiculously toothy grins. You'll find that snails' tiny teeth all over its file-like tongue, which somehow disturbs me more.
Yes, it does. It my gag reflex is active. Oh, it's disgusting. I need a moment. Yeah, that's gross. Why do you have to say that one?
I could.
I don't even know how to say this. Okay. So here is a little group of fun facts that I wanted to share. I had read before, but I wanted to share with other people because I think it's really funny. And if you know, you know. So there are 9 laws and rules that Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner have to follow on every episode. And they are the Roadrunner cannot harm the coyote except by going beep beep. No outside force can harm the coyote, only his own ineptitude or the failure of an Acme product. The coyote could stop at any time if he were not a fanatic. A fanatic is one who redoubles his efforts when he has forgotten his aim. 4. No dialogue ever except beep beep. 5. The roadrunner must stay on the road, otherwise, logically, he would not be called a roadrunner. 6. All action must be confined to the natural environment of the two characters, the Southwest American desert. 7. All materials, tools, weapons, or mechanical conveniences must be obtained from the Acme Corporation. 8. Whenever possible, make gravity the coyote's greatest enemy. And 9. The coyote is always more humiliated than harmed by his failures. I read that on some like one of those things that floats around social media a few years ago. And then like my kids will go on these bouts where they'll watch it and like I watch it and then I think about that and I'm like it's just so funny that like they followed 9 things for hundreds of episodes and they're just making this poor guy look so stupid. And then it's like, yeah, they never really actually do anything. And there's actually an like one of the earlier episodes, it's when Wile E. Coyote is a little baby coyote and his dad tells him to go catch a roadrunner, and he goes to say
Mhm.
something, and his dad grabs him, and he's like, "Nope, I don't want to hear a word from you until you catch me a roadrunner." And so that kind of sets up why they never talk, and all the other Looney Tunes actually talk to
Yeah,
each other. Little fun
that's
facets for
interesting.
ya.
More you know.
Shooting star.
Well, back on bacteria, the bacteria on your skin is what causes you to itch, specifically Staph aureus. It
Ew.
releases a chemical that activates the protein in our nerves, and it sends a signal from our skin to our brain, which our brain then perceives as the itch. As I've been sitting here scratching myself, my face, my arm, my leg.
I thought it was just like dead skin, like little particles of like dead skin catching like the hairs on your body and it like disturbing it. That's kind of what I assumed was like making you itch.
I don't know. Fun fact, fish form orderly queues in emergencies. When evacuating through narrow spaces in sketchy situations, schools of neon tetrafish queue so that they don't collide or clog up the line. Scientists interpreted this behavior as showing that fish can respect social rules even in emergency situations, unlike humans.
The more I learn about mammals, the more
Uh,
I am convinced that we're the dumbest mammal. And we have like
yes.
the greatest chance of learning more.
Ew. Platypuses sweat milk.
How?
This is because they don't have teats. Milk appears as sweat on a platypus, but it's an aquatic mammal, so it doesn't actually sweat at all. What? Fun fact, you don't like the sound of your own voice because of the bones in your head. This may be because the bones in our head make our voice sound deeper than it is.
It's like, it really freaks my kid out that you should be able to see your nose, but like your brain ignores it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that freaks out my kid.
There might be a cure for evil. Well, a cure for psychopathy anyway. Psychologists agree that aspects of psychopathy can be cured by cognitive behavioral therapy, which is said to reduce violent offenses by those with the condition. Preliminary research suggests that computer based cognitive training could help a psychopath experience empathy and regret.
That would be nuts. So this isn't a fun fact. I should save it, or I might save like the details of it for our stuff we're gonna do in October. Did you know that there was a string of murders in Leesville that all of the women fit the same description, and um, they all had been seen at Lebo's, which is the Texaco leaving town. They all
Mm-hmm.
had been seen there before they disappeared. And there is a suspect, and he is still alive and still lives in Vernon Parish. Yeah, freaky, right? Uh, okay, buddy. Well, what else are you doing today?
Um, we have to go to the store and pick up some stuff, and then I may try to lay outside because it's
Take a
actually
nap?
looking like it's gonna be decent weather. Yeah. It looks like it's gonna be decent weather, and it's been raining so much that it would be nice to enjoy the good weather for just a brief moment.
You're gonna love it when you come up here. If it's still doing the same thing it's doing now, it's like 70 degrees outside. It's been like 70 degrees outside every day this week, which sucks.
That would be nice.
I hope your doggies are not upset with cool water because that water is like 50 degrees.
They're not. Our dogs got in the water when it was negative something here. Like
Uh,
2 winters ago when it was like negative 15 degrees outside, they went
yeah.
and got in the river. And I was like,
It's
Johnny, I don't think we should be letting them get in the river. And he was like, well, what are we going to do now? They already did. I was like, okay.
oh Johnny, always a beacon of knowledge. Uh, it's just it's still like chilly here at night. Like one night last week, it was like the low was like 47 degrees or something.
It cooled down here the other day too, but I know it's because of the all the rain we keep having, all the storms. So,
Yep. I just wish it would do
but
something
yeah.
so the storms would quit because there's tornadoes everywhere and I live in a camper. Can't afford all these hotels so I don't die.
Yeah. So we're
Which
probably
there,
gonna go to the store and then I'm gonna lay outside and nap. And then tomorrow, when I'm off and he's at work, I'm gonna clean the house.
yeah, I
Because
need
I
to do
really need
that.
to clean up.
I need to do that too. All right, buddy pal.
Um, Unfortunately, I do not have a poll this week, but that's all right. I could probably come up with one, but we'll be all right.
Yeah, we also didn't post the video about the lettuce. I thought about
I
that.
know. I thought about that earlier.
I don't know when I thought about it. It was like
I mean,
yesterday, and I was like, oh, it's too late now.
we can go back, let people know. If you were curious about the reel from last week's episode, we will post it. I mean, we can't, I don't think there's any way we can leave it on anything so that you could continually see it.
That's true. We could put it like, we could start a little thing on our Instagram that's like
Mm,
references, like where you put
yeah.
it in our story and then you can put it like on your page. I don't know what those are, the little
Yeah,
pins.
in
I
the
don't know what
little
yeah, I don't know what that's called. I forget.
highlights.
All right, bud.
All right,
Well,
Betty. I'm gonna go to the grocery store. Hopefully, it's a quick trip because I'm not in the mood for people.
that's fair.
And we got to get our a new little kiddie pool for our doggies because they messed up the other one that we'd had for a couple years. So,
All right. Well, you guys have fun. And I will see you soon.
thanks. Yes, we'll be visiting super soon. 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. 2 weeks.
It's gonna be a good time.
I know, I'm excited.
Good time.
All right. Well, I love you
All
and I
right,
miss you.
Betty. Love and miss you.
Bye.
Bye.